All right, well, I'll choose door number one. That's something that I dearly love to talk about. I just turned 57 years old recently, and I never expected years ago if you'd asked me, that would I be doing something completely different? Would I have reinvented myself in my late 50s? I probably would have said no. But actually, maybe I would have said yes, because come to think of it, even before I was a teacher for many years, I'd done many other things. So I knew it was kind of possible. But here I am. I'm doing something now that I wouldn't have even have known the name of 10 years ago, let alone thought I would be doing. Nothing I ever imagined myself doing, but here I am. And how did I get here? And I think the seed of reinvention is really discovering something that you deeply need to do and you need to know more about. That's how I got where I am. It can happen in many different ways. For some people, it happens by a process of intentional discovery and intentional looking into something. That's not the way it happened to me. It happened to me by getting thrown into the deep end of a pool. A number of years ago, I was in graduate school, and I got asked to, not asked to, but I had to take a job to make some money. I took a part-time job at the campus bookstore, only to find out on my second day that the bookstore was dying. Amazon was putting it out of business. The students weren't buying their books there anymore. So I found out that the manager had really hired me to do something different. He said, I'm not going to have you stocking shelves. I'm not going to have you waiting on the counter. He said, I know you know something about this internet thing, and you're a blogger, and I'm going to sit you down in front of this computer online every day, and you figure out how to take us online, because I think that's the only way we're going to save the store. So it was literally like being thrown in the deep end of a pool. But it became an adventure for me. It became an obsession for me. It became something I wanted to make happen, even though I knew nothing about it. So I discovered that part of the magic of the online world today is that there's almost nothing that you can't learn about if you have the passion for it, if you have the interest. So I began to learn. I began to hook up with other people that were already doing it and ask them questions and find out what they were doing. And long story short, made a lot of experiments. Some of them failed. Enough of them succeeded that we did indeed make a success out of the store. It took 2 years to turn it around from losing a great deal of money to breaking even and then starting to make a profit. But we did it. The more important thing for me personally was I was bitten by a bug. I found something that not only could I do, but that I had a lot of fun doing, and that I understood. I found that this is something I could grasp. And I also found that as I was learning about it, and maybe this is where some of my teacher background comes in, that I had an ability to explain it to another. So that's another factor here in reinventing yourself or turning yourself around or going in a new direction in your life, is not only figuring out what you can do and what you might want to do, some people say what you have a passion about, but also something that you get into so intensely that you can't stop talking about it to other people. When you've got those three things aligned, at least I think you've found something that you need to go out and do and you can do. And then it's just a matter of doing the work and going after it. So I found that it is possible. Again, just to go back to the beginning, I think for some people it happens by very intentional self-exploration, intentional questioning of themselves. For others, it might be just where you're thrown into. But as you get thrown into things in life, as you're having different experiences, take a moment to evaluate those and say, hey, is this showing me something that I ought to explore further? Is this showing me something that I ought to be really pursuing and doing?